couple of things. While we're playing these elimination rounds, by all means, guys, watch before the hyperspace starts. But if you can make sure you give all the players enough room, and try to limit communication with the players as much as possible. The reason for this is we've got like 10 languages represented in the cup, and if your opponent's talking to someone in another language, they may well be saying, "Hey, how you doing?" You may well also be giving strategy and advice. So try to limit the conversation to the players if you can, but by all means, say hello to your friends. So with that, guys, I think everyone's ready for the cup. You have 75 minutes. Good luck. You may begin. Thank you.
Okay, so
Buongiorno ragazzi, allora inizia il top cut, quindi lo stage 3 del main event. Vi chiediamo due cose, la prima è per cortesia di tenere un po' di distanza dai tavoli della top. Questo non è per... Ragazzi, ascoltate un attimo.
4, 5, 6,
Chiediamo per favore di
7,
tenere la distanza dai tavoli della top e soprattutto di non interagire con i giocatori che stanno giocando. Questo non è per cattiveria, ma semplicemente perché potreste come salutarli, come dargli qualche suggerimento per la strategia di approccio della partita. Quindi lo ripeto un'ultima volta, di allontanarsi dai tavoli della top cortesemente e lasciarli giocare. Il timer di riferimento per la top è quello verde, quello dell'hyperspace è quello viola dietro le vostre spalle.
you may, yeah. You don't have to put Penrod down, but if you want, he's played at school 9, isn't he? I've got 8.
Everyone
But
get lifted from the top table.
You're right.
you might want to put him somewhere else, but I don't think so.
10.
Oh.
I'm double the million.
You're gonna go up? Okay. Bitte? Wir haben den Schlüssel.
Time is hard.
Yep. So good game again. Nice to meet you.
See you. Good game and good luck. Yo. Okay. Decimator doesn't move. Yeah.
So, welcome back to day 2 of the Bologna System Open Series 2018. We're starting the top 30, first round of elimination for stage 3. So, ciao ragazzi, buongiorno e benvenuto al System Open Series de Bologna. That's about my best Italians you're going to get. What did you do?
98 target lock on Lorik.
Okay, so information. Let me see if I can refresh this chat. 1 second. So I don't trust it when it's already open. So we're watching Steffen Kähler, one of the most accomplished players from Germany. Made it to top 8, I believe, in 2016 World Championships. Won something like 3 regionals in a single season, if I remember rightly. No, wait, I don't want to do it like this. I want to go back. That's what I want to do. Against Marcello Beccati. And I apologise, I've not had much time to speak to Marcello before we started, as I was running around trying to get everything ready. But he's a local boy, representing Modena, Italy, with the more recent variation on Fair Ship Rebels after Biggs getting completely nerfed. So Steffen playing Rear Admiral Shirano with Determination, Kylo Ren, Emperor Palpatine, Engine Upgrade, Dauntless, the Inquisitor with Push the Limit, Harpoon Missiles, Auto Thrusters, and Title V1. Marcello Beccati with Fen Rao, Tactician, Adaptability, Guidance Chips, M9G8, Lorik with Ray, Draw Their Fire, Guidance Chips, Tactician, Captain Rex with Guidance Chips, Jess Power with Draw Their Fire, R2D6, R2D6 allowing Draw Their Fire, of course, and Integrated Astromech. So thank you for joining us. It's a very warm Sunday morning out here, and as the hall gets full up, it gets warmer and warmer. So hopefully this air conditioning pipe that's right next to me is going to kick in any minute now. Yeah, we've got a lot going on right now, and one of the things I want to tell you is that the top cut is represented by 30 players, and I'll explain this because there's a lot of confusion about this because it's different to a standard format. The stage 3 is not a top cut. Okay, that's the first thing you need to think about. It's not a top cut, it's a stage 3 competition. Stage 3 of the competition. The people that make it to stage 3 of the competition are the people who have five victories or more. There are only 6 rounds. So in this case, with 276 players, we managed to get 30 players with 5 victories or more. Now, stage 3 of the competition is a single elimination bracket. To make a single elimination bracket, you need a number of players that are equal to a power of 2. So 2, 4, 6, no, 2, 4, I was going for odd, even numbers. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, and so on. Okay? So when you get a number that's not equal to a power of 2, you have to round up to the next number that is equal to a power of 2. So from 30, we have to go up to the next power of 2, which is 32. And the spaces that are left over are converted into buys, meaning that as a standard elimination bracket is formed by pairing player number 1 against player 32, 2 against 31, 3 against 30, 4 against 29, and so on and so on. Player number 1 and 2 are paired against player 32 and 31, who happen to be non-existent. They're buys, so those 2 players get to pass through to the round 2 of stage 3, which we commonly know within the X-Wing competitive scene as a top 16 cut, a top 16 bracket, I should say, because there isn't if you want to call it a cut, the cut has already happened. This is the first round of the cut, so that you can understand it. It's really a top 32, but there's only 30 players in it, and the 2 people that have dropped have converted into buys to allow their opponent to pass through to the next round. Imagine if it was imagine it like this. Okay, you had a top 32. Okay. And everything started, and everything was going, and suddenly, the opponents from player number 1 and 2, 5 minutes into the game, just said, "I'm too nervous, I'm going home," and just ran out of the building. What happens to player number 1 and 2? Well, they proceed through the next round. That's basically what's happening here, is that there wasn't enough players to make up the top 32 bracket according to the win condition, So those 2 players pass through to the next round. And that becomes round 2 of stage 3. We commonly know this as a top 16, so that's how it works.
So no push.
We're all ready to go. And they're slowly, well, Steffen is flanking heavily with Inquisitor, whilst creeping to block off the pass with Rirao and Shirano.
I'm good. No.
Hyperspace players, this is 10 minutes left for registration. If you have not registered for the hyperspace, please make sure you register in the next 10 minutes. This is also a reminder for players watching the top games. Please make sure you stay clear of the tables and keep the walkways free. We need to make sure judges can get to all the tables, so please make sure you're not crowding the walkways. Thank you.
Okay.
That's Serbia. Yeah.
There's something else I wanted to look at. I can't remember what it was now. Okay, so thank you for joining us this morning as round 1 of stage 3 gets underway. I would ask you to share the link to all your groups to let people know the stage 3 of competition at the System Open in Bologna is underway. There were 276 players, so please do share the link. If I share the link myself, it doesn't do half as much work as if several different people share the link. So please do consider doing that for me and even as a helping hand. So when I was explaining the Top Cup, the other thing is to bear in mind is that we had 320 players signed up. 276 players actually appeared on the day, and so we had like 40 or something no shows, 50 something no shows. 46 no shows, no, 44 no shows. So if all the players that had been signed up for the event showed up on time, I'm not saying that no one showed up on time. As far as I'm aware, the 40 people didn't come. If they'd have all shown up, then we'd have had a top 35 or something like that, or top, something like that, top 35. Okay, and that would mean that we'd have ended up seeing only 2 tables play the first round of play this morning in a top 64 bracket, as all the as 35 down to 64, which would be the next power of 2, would become buys, and so virtually everybody would get buys. And then it's kind of like what happened at Germany, is that we had out of it was something like 50 players. It was 54 players. And so 10 players got buys. And you can get into a ridiculous situation where only 33 players qualify for the bracket, which means that only 2 players have to play the first round of competition while everybody else is just standing around watching them. In theory, you say that the top 2 players who had the buys, you would think that they'd be resting in bed. They've been given the opportunity every single Open I've been to stay and not appear until the start of the next round. But of course, they always come down. They always watch their next possible opponent's game. Their eagle eyes hawking in, and that's happened at every single Open I've been to so far. You know, you say to players, well, you got to buy, you can lie in. No, they don't. They don't lie in. I can tell you that much. So Inquisitor closing heavily into range, and it looks like Steffen's trying to work out what his next action, whether he's going to barrel roll or did he already boost?
Target lock, Lorik.
It's going to target lock.
So, and
this is one of the first times I managed to get Steffen on stream, and he was on my hit list for a while. It's just looking for that right moment. Like yesterday, there were 2 or 3 times I was looking at him, but there was always a better option in stage 2. the Inquisitor with harpoon missiles as well in this matchup. So target locking the Lorik there is hoping to put some spike damage on Lorik and try and shut down those abilities and completely nullify that reinforced token as soon as possible. As I said before, out of the top 30 players that have made stage 3 a competition, there are no scum players. There are 17 Rebel players and 13 Imperial players. And if you do follow the Facebook page on First Earth, you'll be able to take a look at that those top lists as they're paired up in the bracket. The only difference will be the top 2 players look like they've been paired up, but because they're side by side, but they're not. They're buys.
What do you need?
So yeah, please go to facebook.com/First Earth. I think that's what it is. Is it First Earth TV? I remember. It's First Earth on Facebook. No, it's First Earth on YouTube. It's First Earth TV on. It must be First Earth TV. Is the link. Anyway, so I'm publishing the top 30 lists now on Facebook. I'm gonna have to rotate a bunch of photos.
So, harpoon at
With Lorik.
he hasn't got a harpoon, so yeah, Lorik.
Harpooning Lorik.
Is there a dice cam? No. Do you want?
No dice camera.
I don't mind. No. Okay.
So I see one crit, one hit, one focus, and a blank.
Spend the target lock.
Spends a target lock to reroll the 2 non-results. And he gets another hit. So 2 crits and a hit. 1 focus. Good morning, man.
Waiting for my game.
Okay, and who's your opponent, do you know?
Yes, take one. Okay. Yep.
No R3 too, so.
Okay. Damage, yeah? Only 1 shield?
Harpoon condition.
Okay. The harpoon condition goes on. Let me try and fix this.
Then range 3 obstructed. Range 2. Now on Lorik.
Registration for the hyperspace is now closed. We'll be getting your pairings up momentarily. So the hyperspace registration is now closed. Thank you.
I managed to mess up the photo of Steffen and Marco's list pair up. So range 3, Shirinor.
1 crit. Yes.
1 crit.
Shoot.
Range 3.
Yep.
Tough and round. Range 3 on the Inquisitor.
One reroll for M9G.
Or is it? This is the no, this is Lorik, right?
I will not use Palpatine. Too late.
2 evades.
Rex. Yep, I will use Palpatine.
Rex fires range 1 on the Inquisitor, gets 3 hits, natural. And Palpatine calls her an evade. Gets 1 and plus 1 for Palpatine, and with the evade token, blocks that attack. The suppressive fire condition goes on.
Enter. Yep.
And it looks like they go back to Dars. I'm trying to get through these photos. I'm just realised I've messed up the photo for my 2 players.
No, either he gets a crit or when he dies here. Yeah. So if you get a crit or if an uncancelled crit. Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can manage to steal my photo of my 2 lists from a friend of mine.
Oh, you did it, Kevin.
Aha, there we go. Cool.
Hyperspace competitors, your pairings for round 1 have now gone live on the Facebook event page for this event. We'll be putting them up around the room momentarily, but your pairings are now live on Facebook. Please find your table, say hello to your opponent, shake their hands, welcome them. You can begin setup, but please do not begin until we let you know. Thank you.
Yeah, so all the top 30 lists are now published on the Facebook page. Let's go to First Earth TV on Facebook, or search First Earth on Facebook, or go to facebook.com/First Earth TV. Remember right? I think so. Let me try it. First Earth TV. Facebook.com/First Earth TV. And you get Buongiorno Carlo Tozzi.
Good morning guys.
Tell me, what is your expectation for the next round?
Well, I have to play against or Miranda or a triple defender with
Archibald.
crack shot.
Yeah.
So with the Miranda, for me, it's basically a game loss.
Yeah.
With the triple defender, I have to get lucky with my dice.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's important.
not very tense possibility for you to come up for the next round. On the bright side, you only have to win one game, and you've already got your invitation to Coruscant.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a very good thing.
So that's a very good thing, huh?
A lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, yeah.
But
yeah.
anyway,
because you want to go to Coruscant, don't you? You want to represent Italy.
I would like. We say basically that if me, Alessandro Marmorini, and maybe Tony Petriconi, that is playing
in hyperspace,
but he can arrive 6-0. He's a great player. Yesterday he had very bad luck with the pavings.
Yeah.
So if we get the invitation, we can organize to go.
Yeah. And there's nothing to be said about. There's nothing you can say about people playing in hyperspace for being poor players. In the case of Tony, we've also David Dief, you know, from Team Spain, from the ETC, one of the best players we have in Spain, got knocked out in round 1 yesterday.
The same thing, Tony. That's why I say that, because Tony, Marco Descordili, it's the actual Italian.
And it's the same as your game with Juan Del Rio yesterday. We saw. That there's. I mean, everyone turns around and says fly better, and stuff like that. But it's not that simple. You do have those games that things just go completely against you, and there is no recovery from them.
Exactly.
So that can happen to anybody. And when you're banking on your one system open that you can get to, it's devastating. Yeah,
that's true. How is going the game?
Well, it's only just opening up so far. He's had a harpoon attack on. Steffen's attacked Lorik with a harpoon and Chirano, and only managed to get 2 damage off of him. So Marcello is holding up pretty well. Do you know Marcello personally?
Yeah, he's my teammate of the ATC.
Cool.
He was the scam player with the triple jump.
Yeah.
And also we are very big friends.
Okay.
He's a good player. It's one of the oldest in the meaning not old, but
been playing for the longest time.
He plays X-Wing from 2013, I think, and that's why he has the national maneuvers, template maneuvers of he was the champion on 2014.
2014 Italian national champion. There you go. You see, I didn't know anything about him, and I asked her yesterday.
All the gossip, if you want.
Yeah, go on. Because obviously I have to be impartial. I've talked a bit about Steffen already, about what I know about him and his accomplishments of world. But obviously Marcello, I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah, he's the national championship of 2014. And for example, in table, well, I don't know the number of the table, but we have also Marco Turchiano.
Yes.
Marco Turchiano was the national championship of 2015 and the finalist of this year, but he lost it against Marco Descordili. That now he's playing.
He's playing hyperspace. I've not seen him today this weekend.
Well, yesterday he had a very bad luck in the first 2 games, and he lost in the first 2 games. So SOS is like that.
That's where it goes, man. You have a couple of bad games, and that's it. Game over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to see my future opponent. And see you later.
See you in a bit, man.
Bye.
If you see Bartosz hanging around, tell him to come over and have a chat as well.
Wait. No, I'll tag lock. You're not using the 9?
Yes, players, so you're aware,
what
your
tag
clock
locks are you
is
using?
the purple / pink / magenta clock.
Okay, I'll use the new one
in the corner of the room. That is the clock for you around. Not the yellow one, it's the magenta.
I love you, I know.
So in the top 30 there are 17 Rebels, 13 Imperials, no scum represented in stage 3 of the competition.
Last cheap. Wait, we can do a 5? Oh no, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. No, sideways 5 I thought. If you use the 5 at the side, it's the same as the 3, but the 5 doesn't fit properly.
Hey, come sit down, man. So I'm joined by Bartosz, second place, correct? Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
nothing strange about that, huh? Coming second.
Oh. This is why I sold my R2D2 templates.
You sold them, huh?
Instantly. I mean, imagine playing with templates saying you're second for the rest of your life.
Well, the other ones say second as well.
No.
Yeah, they do. They say the bracket you got to. So it's like the top 8, top 4, and top 2.
No,
for real?
Rasta got first with
And it says,
with little gold.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I've not taken that close of a look at them.
No, it's
I know that if you were 8,
top
8 got 8.
Top 4, but then you got second, first.
Right, okay. Well, yeah, that's true. No, I can understand that then. Who did you? Can you gossip? Can you tell us who you sold it to?
No.
Can you tell us how much? Would that be invasive?
Well, I don't want to really.
Okay.
I mean, it was a lot. It was a
lot, yeah, but it was worth it, huh?
It was worth it.
Yeah.
And I've sold it to someone who doesn't play much.
Okay, cool.
Likes
absolutely
collectibles.
And there's nothing wrong with that, huh?
No, actually it is.
So you've been watching, you've been walking around, you've been checking out your next two opponents.
Yes.
What is it you're probably going to be facing in the next round?
Either Howard Aces or Ghost Fen.
Yeah.
But the Flightless is Astromech version.
Right, okay. And how do you feel about those two matchups for your list? You're playing Ray Lorick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right. So when I first came to the table and I saw Ghost Fen, I was like, okay, it has to be our R382 version. So I was like, go Imperials, because I'm not too I mean, I don't want to be overconfident. I played a lot against Howard Aces. My last game was against Howard Aces, so Inquisitor Quick Draw Yor. And it can go both ways.
Yeah.
But I have experience against the list, so I prefer to play something against I know than Ghost Fen with R382, because I have 2 expertise in my list, so R382 is a bummer for me.
Absolutely, huh?
So and then when I saw Flightless is Astromech, I was like, yes, go Team Rebel.
Yeah, okay. So you managed to keep your expertise and all that sort of stuff, functioning, and everything stays well. Okay, cool. 1 crit, 1 hit enough blank gets turned into a crit for Palpatine. Rolls a focus. He's got a focus token. He's got a reinforced token. And he's harpooned, so if he doesn't manage to cancel it, he's gonna.
I have the shield.
Yeah.
I don't take. I take the condition.
Yeah.
Harpoons are awesome against swans.
Yeah.
A face down card, yeah.
Not face up.
No.
Is there Kylo somewhere on the table? There is.
Kylo's on the decimator, but it's not been used yet, to the best of my knowledge.
What?
So.
Well, there's no obvious target, maybe except Jess, I think.
Yep.
Yep. Reinforce.
And a damage card, and everybody else gets 1 damage.
Yeah.
It's harpoon.
I mean, playing against Swarm like that is really tricky because there's no good first target. Because Rex is annoying. Jess has fangs, basically.
Yeah.
And Lori can hit you.
I have
like
it,
truck
but
as
I
well,
haven't used it yet.
So Marcello just assessing his options. Either way, he's going to suffer a crit, and that harpoon is going to go off. Oh no, he could spend the reinforce, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and cancel.
So,
but then he leaves himself open.
What did he roll? He rolled.
He rolled a focus. He's got a focus token. He's got a reinforced token.
Yeah, but he hit 3 times, right? Or hit crit?
Yeah, he's got 1 hit and 2 crits.
But that's afterwards.
Selflessness.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It's one of
you can't use selflessness unless you're actually suffering damage. And you're suffering hits first, so that means that crit has to go through.
So they've called a judge over.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he cannot do it because the selflessness triggers when you're actually suffering normal hits.
The damage, yeah. And whereas the harpoon is for an uncancelled crit.
Yeah, so crit will go through it eventually.
Yeah, the focus and the evade from that. So that's 2 evades.
So the crit goes through.
So I've got
if you'd have
so a crit
draw the fire.
Yeah.
That's the other option for
because hits
Lorick build.
Before crits.
Then you could do it.
Because selflessness is after.
I've seen Sorry.
Just be quiet because they're talking about it and it's overlapping everything. So they've called the judge is checking. And so I'm understanding everything, but it's like, as you were talking, they were talking as well, and it was kind of like going whoop, and I was like, I'm not hearing either side of the conversation. So what we're saying is that selflessness triggers after the harpoon condition has triggered. When the actual damage cards are being dealt, whereas harpoon is when there's an uncancelled crit after the dice results have been compared.
So draw the fire would work. And this is other popular EPT for
the roll of attack. I have a harpoon condition. Harpoon condition. I roll 5. I have a focus and change in I have reinforce and
so one crit comes through, so you can't use selflessness because there is no hits, because these get cancelled, hits get cancelled before crits. The hit doesn't come through.
Dice que si puede usar altruismo con esta, eso es lo de cancelar y que se lo come.
No, but it's a crit. The crit enters, so the condition trigger. Yeah, exactly. But you can.
What's the decision? Because
no, they're explaining to Marcello that the crit will still trigger harpoon because regardless, because it happens before.
Non puoi annullare a crit.
Because he can't remove a crit.
But
so who was the target? Because I came.
Lorik is the one that's been hit by Chirino with 2 crits and a hit.
Alright, so Jess has selflessness.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, the harpoon.
Yeah.
So okay.
I use this.
Okay. So 1 shield. And the slash. One damage card on Lorik.
Yeah.
And 1 damage on everybody else. Face down. And 1 damage on everyone.
So Jess Power 1 shield, Captain Rex 1, and Fenral 1 shield less.
Go ahead.
1 shield less.
3-minute time extension for the judges.
And they've given him a 3-minute time extension.
It's not hurt.
3-minute time extension.
Okay. Hai 3 minuti in più.
Questo l'ho capito. Yes, full. Range 2.
Two focus tokens on from Rex on Shirano.
Power.
So that's 2 shield, I think,
It's 2.
and condition.
Reroll.
3.
And Jess just scored 3 hits on Shirano as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how many cards. 1, 2. Yeah, they all go in. So 9 hull and no shields.
And 1 away from getting half points already.
Yeah.
But,
and they didn't move the condition from Rex to Shirano, so that's they have to do it. And
if
they'll forget, it's massive because Shirano shooting with 2 dice instead of 3 is a big thing.
So Shirano fired on Rex?
No,
Shirano fired on Lorik.
Yeah. Rex fired on Shirano and scored
did he?
2.
Okay, right.
Jess
that's where the
scored,
shields went.
Yeah,
okay.
and Jess scored 3 as well.
Okay, so we'll leave it for now. We won't say anything because obviously we'll wait and see if they work out themselves.
Yeah.
That harpoon condition, man. It's pretty complicated, huh?
Pardon?
The harpoon condition is pretty complicated.
It's not really that complicated. I mean,
you get a lot of sort of that sort of situation where players have to like ask and try and work it out. It's just that there's so many layers to it.
I mean, for me, it's really straightforward. It's when you get uncancelled crit, it triggers. Period. And I know there are different discussions regarding draw the fire. Will it? Because okay, I know where you're coming. Yeah, okay. All right.
You get it, yeah? It's like it's not one of the most simplest interactions in the game.
I mean,
and it's things like does TLT work? Does this work? Does that work? And
would I? Yeah. I mean, TLT was FAQ'd, so
it got fact because it was so complicated. That's
yes.
the whole point.
Yeah, you're right.
There's just so many layers to it, and just the fact that you get that you suffer. You get when the crit gets suffered, you don't cancel that crit either, do you?
No, you.
So you should take another damage for that crit. You take an extra damage for the
You lose a shield.
You suffer damage. You get a face down damage card, and every other ship around you gets damage as well. Gets 1 damage as well. So I mean that bit is the bit that's kind of like the fact that's another point is that people don't quite understand that crit is like causing double damage. It's giving you 1 damage for the crit and another face down damage card. So if you're talking about ties, I mean that could be dead in one shot. Well, just from the harpoon triggering.
So
you're not going to get a tie that gets a harpoon, Christian. But you don't understand what I'm trying to say. If you've got a small ship with like 4 or 5 hull and that's it, no shields. Once that harpoon condition goes off, you're talking about you might be dead.
I was playing once. I used to play for some time 3 skurks with harpoons. So we had 5 harpoons.
Yeah.
2 deadeyes, 1 long range scanners.
See.
And we did. You know Vuk? Filip Vukic?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So we did a couple tests. How fast can we take down the storm with 1 shot?
Yeah.
So it does work actually, or unfortunately, but it needs a bit of luck on green dice from Imperial player.
Yeah.
Because you need to get harpooned twice. Pretty much.
And of course harpoons stack, don't they? So if you get 3 harpoon conditions on 1 ship, once that crit goes through, everything around it's going to take 3 damage.
Yes.
It's going to take 3 damage plus the 3 face up, the 3 face down cards, and so devastating effect as it kind of daisy chains.
Thank you.
And I mean, one of the things you can kind of point out is that obviously Marcello wasn't 100% aware of how harpoon was working, because typically when a ship gets harpooned, you see this 4-ship box formation break up, or at least spread out a bit to kind of reduce that damage effect. But he kept them all at range 1 of Lorik to protect that ability, and that ended up being the curse.
Well, I think that most players forget the second part of harpoon's condition, that you actually can take it off.
You can take it off?
Yes, as an action, and you have 50% chance of getting hit.
That's true, 100%.
So when I was playing, I was playing Philip in game 5, I think.
Yeah.
And he had 2 rows, and Kähler.
Yeah.
So he said that and I actually took off the conditions, and he said that he was actually surprised because I was the first guy on the tournament to take it off, and it really helps. And in this situation, it would just save 3 hull points. I know that he wouldn't have the reinforced token.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's possibly 2 damage.
You didn't shoot at him. Yeah.
But still,
no, but it's excellent. I mean. The thing is that people, like you say, people seem to forget that too much, because we see too many ships that go around kiting a harpoon condition for 3 or 4 turns, waiting to die off at the border of the table, where they're going to do least damage.
I think they dropped the Rex condition, which is strange. Right.
So this would be.
I think it's you're playing top cat and it's just stressful.
Okay.
Right? Yep. So that's the last focus, yeah? Yeah. Okay. The clock. Range to
take a stress.
Yep. 1 crit. ship blue stabilizer. When they fly white, I get stress. Yeah.
He'll be shooting right now with Shirano.
So Blanco stress.
So what did he do?
So who fired there? Red Fenral?
Yeah, Fenral shot.
And he gave him a loose stabilizer.
Rex just shot at Shirano, right? What happened with the condition?
It was on him.
Right.
Do you have QR code reader somewhere?
No, not QR codes. My eyes.
Nice.
I'm just trying to remember. Yeah. Let's keep the
go up and
condition
get
there for the time being. Let's just
If
rerun.
he doesn't shoot, does people at the end of the round?
So the question was if Rex shot at Shirano last round or not.
Yeah, did
Yeah,
Rex?
yeah.
Where's the condition? What happened to it?
It was on Inquisitor.
So does the condition not move when Rex shoots it?
Yeah, yeah.
No, is that a must or not?
It is. Let's just take a look at the condition. Can I just see the cards, please?
Here's Rex.
Yeah. Oh, it's in Italian though.
In English.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my brain keeps a lot of information, just way too much at times. TIE Fighter.
Oh.
No, it'll be Rebel Fighter, wouldn't it?
No.
Still a order. We'll give you guys a time extension. It's not a problem. So after you perform an attack.
No, not that one. It's the other card.
After you perform an attack, assign the suppressive fire. There's no
It's a
mate.
must.
So
It's a must.
So it's on Shirano now.
It has to be on Shirano.
Okay, so they've sorted that out.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Yeah.
You could just like look.
So it's only 2 dice, yeah?
So we'll give you guys a 2-minute extension.
So we've got 5 minutes.
Okay, so 5 minutes total.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Bingo, guys.
I will shoot at him. Yeah.
Thanks.
Range.
1 dice left.
Punch? Yeah, I'm going to go to.
Yeah.
And you have no reinforce because I'm in the front.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So it's not QR codes. I remember them.
There are some programs that can actually read that for you, and if you
no, but the thing is to patch it into this camera feed, and like I said, on the actual camera, it comes out pretty small.
Yeah, but if you could discipline player.
No, what's the point in that?
I'll explain you because sometimes not discipline. Discipline is the wrong word. But if you convince players to show damage cards in front of a camera, it's not always readable.
Yes, absolutely. No, but so let's just get through the combat phase, and I'll explain to you. One focus. So spends the focus, blocks that attack. This is all okay so far, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Palpatine's for a crit.
Wow.
Gets 3 crits.
Not very well.
And Lorik's just like, no, not today. Gets takes 2. Takes.
You have focus. Only 2. I have a 1 damage. Nothing to do.
Yeah, so he's gonna be dead anyway. Rex is gone.
2 crits.
And that's taken care of. So that was a major explosion. So they're triggering that just to make sure damage cards get dealt correctly. That's a direct hit.
The second.
And that's a damaged engine.
I know it's dead.
There's nothing left.
Some of the cards are, especially if you have Kylo, the Kylo crew, are very important.
Yeah, of course.
Many people forget that if, let's say, both blinded pilots, how many? 4 hits? 3. That's chess. Yeah, that's chess.
Yes, 1 crit. Direct hit. So now he's got 2 crits, a loose stabilizer, direct hit, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 makes 8. 4. So direct hit makes 2. So 3 hull left.
Right, so I was saying that most people forget that if you do Kähler in action, and you name the card, and it's not in the deck anymore, you lose an action.
Yes, because what people aren't realizing in a lot of cases is that when a ship is dead, all damage cards should be flipped face up. So you're aware of what's left in the damage deck.
They flip up.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Check the rules reference for when destroyed, and once a ship dies, all damage cards get dealt face up, and so
but the cards dealt
they become
previously.
open knowledge.
The cards dealt.
So, for example, now if the decimator dies, Steffen should turn all of his cards face up.
Oh, I didn't.
And you get to see, because that was another thing. When I found that out, I was like going, let me see if I could create like a poker thing that starts telling you the odds of a direct hit coming out.
Yeah.
And say like there's a 17% chance that a direct hit might come out on this roll.
That would actually be really nice.
Yeah, but it's too much fiddly basically, and most people don't realise it, and so most people, once a ship dies, they just collect up the cards and put them down.
Well, you can create chances of cards coming up even knowing.
Even without that, yeah. But it was kind of like once that becomes open knowledge, it allows me to refine it even better.
To
make it more relevant information.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like when you play poker and you take your odds on Hold'em, you don't take into consideration other
the
cards.
rest of it. And so what we were saying before about you're telling about how disciplining players and having them show damage cards stuff like that. Then what you're forgetting there is every single step of the way, I'm trying to make sure that they forget. No, they forget that that other part is there. That's why I don't use dice cams. That's why I don't ask them to do stuff like that. That's why I change the bases so that people don't get confused with what's going on. That's why I put, instead of ID tokens, I put little coloured tokens on the ships so that we can follow the game as well as being with them, next to them, but at a distance. Without letting them know, or trying to make it as non-obtrusive as possible. That's the whole idea. And obviously the dice cam thing, as a lot of people go around, well, you know, dice cam, but I can pretty much see on the screen, and I call them out when I see them so that people are aware what the results are, even if they can't see them on their screen. So it's kind of like I say, I prefer to not have to condition players to say, you have to do things like this, you have to do things like that.
Well, every time I'm watching different streams, I always have like dozen different ideas, which since I'm not a techie, and I'm not a techie at work, I always give improvement ideas, but I just don't do them. I just suggest them. So the thing is, what I was thinking is, if you could automate it as much as possible. So let's say adding 2, 3, 4 buttons for red dice, 3 buttons for green dice, and then when you see the score, you just
Yeah, I've looked at something like that, but you know what the problem is? Is that sometimes dice get rolled so quickly,
I know.
you'd lose your mind doing it, because it's bad enough as it is me trying to call out what I'm seeing, but then like tapping it in as well. For example, I saw Jack Mooney play Simeon Della Pina in the UK in the top 8 or something like that, and the two of them were like boom, 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 bashing it about. If I'd have been trying to type that in, I'd have looked like an idiot because I'd be like 3 turns behind them each time. I've seen that, I've looked into that idea, I've experimented with it, and I've discarded it. Basically, it was just like, it's too much silliness going on the screen at any one time, and me running around like a nutter trying to do it. It's not, you know, in some situations, for example, in this game, they're rolling their dice. For example, Steffen rolls his dice, Marcello rolls his dice, and then thinks, you know, so it would work okay in this game, but not in all cases.
So the other thing, because you're calling, let's get back to the cards. You're calling them, right? While they pop up. But then someone, let's say, go to the kitchen, get a tea or something, right? This is sometimes my problem. Like I'm watching it on TV usually. So then I go walk dog or something, come back, and what that crit is, right?
Well, yeah, that's why this is actually available on the Facebook page.
All right.
Yeah. And if you wanted to get really technical about it, check this out. I don't know if you'll appreciate it, but let me do this. Where's the damage deck folder? There it is.
That's on. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay, so French, German, Italian. I've still got to fill in the Spanish column, but then like if you only want to see your language.
All right. This is nice.
Italian and English, and you got it in the middle.
I can send you Polish versions.
That's it. I want the Polish version because sometime I'm going to go to Poland. Sometime.
Yeah.
And also, let me just point out. Let me just spread out the word now. I'd like to collect foreign language damage decks, so that when I do go to a foreign tournament, I have them on hand available. All right, now I've got.
I knew it. I could just give you my old one because I have
But don't worry about it right now. Like I'm saying, it's something that's kind of like a project of mine for the next year or so that when I do go to foreign tournaments, I have them. Like obviously in Spain, I have the Spanish damage decks, and so when I have Spanish players, I give them the Spanish damage decks, right? And so if I was to go, when I come to Italy, if I have the Italian damage decks, that'd be awesome. Just by like, there you go. There's nothing to worry about. Because right now, what I have is a copy of this document over there for Marcello in Italian and English, so that he can just look for the picture and then find out what the crit is.
Right.
So yeah, well, that's something I would like to do in the next couple of years or so is collect foreign language damage decks as a kind of like personal project, and then have them so that I can sleeve them all up with my little stickers, and then wherever I go, I'd know I'd be ready. A bit silly, but you know, it's the sort of thing that I enjoy.
Those are the small things that matter.
Yeah.
Right, so we have Bump for Fan from Fan, and he's close to Lorik, and he's
one hit, one crit. This is Fen firing on the Inquisitor, yeah, I guess. And 3 blanks,
and
spends evade, and takes a shield.
And Tactician.
And Tactician gets him double stressed.
That's massive.
Yeah, that's huge for the Inquisitor. Now, Shirano firing. 1 blank, 1 focus, 1 hit.
That was
spends. Oh, is it Inquisitor?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not Veteran Instincts on the rack.
How could he? Wait, one sec.
Inquisitor.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Okay, no hot shot. Sorry.
Yeah.
1 and take 2 damage.
So 1,
2 damage.
2. Oh, 2 damage. Sorry.
Yeah. Shield and a hit card.
2.
Now Shirano will probably finish.
Shirano goes on to Lorik. Lorik's got 4 hull left. Still got a reinforced token on him.
Probably
Palpatine's for a crit. Gets 2 blanks and a hit. 1 crit and a hit after Palpatine. 1 evade.
So no damage.
Takes the crit. Oh no, because of the reinforced, yeah. So lucky roll there.
I know.
It's 3-8.
And they're back to dials. So a pretty good round there for Marcello. It could have gone a lot worse.
He got pretty lucky, and he still lost 2 hits on Lorik.
Yeah. And managing to get a shield off of the Inquisitor, although inconsequential, is something. To achieve that, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And double stress, that's massive.
Yeah.
It all depends what Jess will do, because there were no shots on
Shirano, no.
Yeah, this turn. So, and actually the thing is, even if Shirano will go down, if properly flown, Inquisitor can take down the rest of this list by himself, because Lorik will never see him, never.
Yeah.
And Jess may. But I think Fan doesn't have enough firepower to do it.
Yeah. Let me just clear something up before we go any further. When we were talking about Kylo earlier, we mentioned that you could name a crit and search the damage deck for it.
Yeah.
The actual action is you don't name a crit, you search the damage deck and pick the one you want.
But no, you pick it before. I'm pretty sure.
This is becoming the rules lawyer round.
Yeah.
Very quickly. Where is it? The player who assigned it searches the damage deck for 1 damage card with the pilot trait and may place it face up on his card and shuffle the damage deck.
Alright.
Yeah. So it's not even if you turn around and say I'm looking for a blinded pilot.
Yeah.
If there's no blinded pilot, you can still go for a damaged cockpit, for example.
Right. So
just to make sure we weren't misinterpreted in that range.
Yeah. Judge came on one of the tournaments and he said it works that way, so I took it as a...
That's the other thing, is that one of the situations that you have to, in my position, have to be very careful of, is that at the end of the day, you shouldn't argue with judges.
No, you shouldn't.
And judges make their decisions, and it's kind of like the sort of situation we find ourselves in lately, is that, some judges make different opinion judgments, and in an event where that judge is law, you have to respect that.
I really respect judges for taking the decisions, because you need to have. I mean, you need to be. You need to take ownership.
100%, yeah. Because there's too much lately that is like, I need a document to back me up, or I need as a judge you need to be able to exercise judgment and make a call when there's no hard line, and make a decision and stick to it.
Right. So I used to play Warhammer 40k.
Yeah.
So if you want to have PhD from rules or lawyering, 40k is your game.
Yeah.
Before you actually come to the game, you need to have like this 60-page document.
Yeah. And I was thinking lately, there was some fuss last summer after the fact leak and stuff like that, where the play tester program got shuffled up. And people said this was bad, and why don't we just have open play testing? Got bumped. Oh yeah, onto a rock. That was well positioned by the talon roll from Jess.
Yes, really nice. I mean,
really well done, Marcello.
Let's see where Fen goes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's stressed like hell.
And so the argument was that we should have open playtesting, and everyone was like, yeah, why don't we have open playtesting? See, I would argue we are in open playtesting right now, because stuff gets released and there's no fact for like months.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, let's see if they can kind of work it out amongst themselves, or let's see, as tournaments go on, people deciding different things based on their own judgment, which ends up being the best. But what's ended up happening is that the community's kind of gone against that and kind of said, no, we all have to walk one single line, which is kind of like, what is it? It's like the second law of thermodynamics. Know that in a closed system, all things tend towards entropy. If you've not got variation, you're driving yourself to oblivion.
Yeah. Fen just scored 2 hits.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's at range 2, so another stress goes on. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But did he score a shield? Yes, he did, I think.
Yeah, he scored a shield off the Inquisitor. Oh shit. Okay.
1 hit?
Yeah. I'll look at it on the web. Alex, I'll check it myself, okay?
This? Lower it.
They were showing me the top bracket with who's progressed, and I was like, I don't quite know what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, let me check that as well, because I might know my opponent.
Do you know what the link is?
Yeah, I do. I'll show you. 1 sec. It's in the...
Oh, come on.
I have it. Oh, yeah. I have it right here.
So, looks like the Decimator is down and out. Oh, no, that's the Inquisitor. Took 3 hits.
From Lorig, I think.
Yeah.
Or Jess.
I don't know. Right now I'm trying to update the screen. I got distracted by the top bracket, and... what's the link to it there?
Do you want me to send it to you on Facebook?
Just, what's the bit he's put after challenge.com?
Oh, it's Italian sauce.
Okay, there we go. So, a devastating turn of events for Steffen there. His Inquisitor gets blown off the table, and the points are stacking up in Marcello's favour with 12 minutes to go.
I think that's game.
Yeah, because Inquisitor, well, even so, Shirano's down to 3 hull points.
Yes.
There's no way he's going to take 3 ships off the board without getting blown off himself, and that's assuming Marcello wants to play for time. No way. Marcello's going to be using the rear arc on Fen, and that 180 arc on Lorik to be just plinging hits off of him until he's dead. I mean, I don't think he's going to make it through the next round.
And there are no actions in Shirano.
No, absolutely not.
He has 4 stress tokens, so...
We have Jan Loven from France proceeding through to top 16, having defeated Lorenzo Marasca in the Loful Fen face-off.
Oh, that's, I played Lorenzo.
Yeah, Lorenzo's a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Alessandro Mazzi is also through to top 16. So Lorik just kind of creeping to get distance from Shirano. That was an excellent turn for Marcello to get Shirano blocked onto that rock. Marc Martinez Torres. Alessandro Mamorini.
stress number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, his loose stabilizer, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. Is that one straight?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure Fan will have arc on him.
If it was a loose stabilizer, it doesn't say you can't. They're considered
No,
red, or
no.
you receive a stress token.
It's not
Okay,
damaged engine.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about the old one where it was like they're all red, and so you couldn't do them if you're stressed.
Okay, so
1 hit, 1 crit, and a focus.
So that's crit from
convert.
I'm not sure who's shooting this.
It's this is Fenrao shooting Chirino, and that's game.
That's game.
Major explosion.
Major explosion.
Yeah, that's a game.
That's game. Thank you very much for joining me, Bartosz. Let me just quickly put you on camera. It's a pleasure, as always. Oh, that camera's a bit high, but we'll take care of that in a minute. And I'm going to go over there and get interviews with those two. Good luck in your next game, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
So Steffen, a dream comes to an end. Okay, top 30 of the Italian System Open. You didn't make the top at the Hanover Open, did you?
No.
And did you go to Poland?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't make it there either.
Yeah. Okay. So so now you get the opportunity to jump into hyperspace, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that though, because I've been to a few and
it's not.
It's nice weather outside.
Yeah.
Have a look at Bologna.
That's true. Okay. Well, let me tell you as well. There's always going to be a seat here for you around if you want to commentate a match.
I'll do that.
Okay. Excellent. So let's talk about your game a little bit. It started off going in your favour. I felt. I think you had a good engagement. You kind of brought Chirino along to block the far edge of the board for him, while Inquisitor sped around and flanked.
Yeah, I think my engagement was perfect, really, because he didn't even shoot much.
No,
it was only Rex.
Yeah. And it was the first couple of turns he didn't even take any damage off you.
Yeah, but I didn't do enough damage. But that happens.
True.
It's just such a tough list. The list in particular is really good against 2-ship lists. So I knew it was going to be a tough match. It was going to be difficult, I wasn't doing enough damage, which happens against low rank.
And your harpoon is like in that case you got like a kind of a perfect kind of situation where he kept them all together as well.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't proven to be enough in the damage race in the end.
Yeah.
And it's something that with your harpoon in your other matchups, has it been something that's proven to be a lot more effective?
Yeah, it's been really good. I had a match against a Miranda, and I killed her with 3 shields left on her because I can Kylo her, and through the harpoon condition, there's 1 round that I don't have to Kylo her, so she gets 2 damage cards in 1 round.
Yeah.
And then there's only 3 more rounds where I have to Kylo her.
Excellent.
Again, so it's 4 rounds.
And we've seen that in this round you've not used much of Kylo. Is that because you just never really had a clear a clear target for him, that there was never really anything you could really do with a Kylo crit on anybody?
Well, the problem was that I got stressed before I could really use him. I needed the perfect engagement, and then I got stressed in that, which is fine.
Okay, right.
And I needed to get Decimator close to do some damage, and then of course he stresses me, and then as soon as he starts to stress me, I can't use him.
Yeah, okay.
And it's not quite as important in this match. In matches against 2-ship lists or against quick draw, I need the blinded pilot or the pilot score 0.
Yeah. But in this case, everyone else is still shooting at you.
Yeah, it's like if in a 2-ship list, if I take out a big part of the list, 60% of the list or so, with a blinded pilot, then that's fine. Here I'll only be taking out 1 shot, which isn't quite as good.
Excellent. Well, okay. Thank you very much for appearing on stream.
Thank you.
A pleasure to find you made it. What was it you made top 8 2016 Nationals?
Worlds.
Well, sorry, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So, I was commenting earlier on your achievements, and you won 3 regionals in 1 season, correct?
Yeah, 3 in a row.
Yeah, and which ones were they?
3 in Germany. It was Munich, Bamberg, and Mannheim.
And were you playing the same list, all 3?
No, it was 3 different lists.
Yeah. Did you do the trifecta? Did you Scum, Rebel, Imperial? Or?
No, it was 3 Scum lists.
Yeah, okay. Excellent. Okay, well, like I say, thank you very much. Like I say, if you're sat around, come along, join me for a game.
All right.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hi to the rest of the
Hello, and unicorns.
Yeah,
from Ultra Comics. Okay. Okay. So Marcello is telling me his English isn't so good. Okay, so I'm going to give you a very short and simple interview, and then afterwards I'd like you to explain in Italian how you felt the game went, what you thought the key points were.
No.
You follow? Capiche?
Yeah.
Okay.
My English is terrible. I'm sorry.
So, were you confident in your matchup against the decimated Inquisitor? Was that good for you?
It's a good matchup for my list. It's a good matchup for my list. Yeah. And I hope to find a Decimator.
Okay. Yeah.
Because my list against Decimator and Inquisitor is so strong. I have two tacticians to stress.
Okay.
And Fen to control the game.
Excellent. Okay. And the key point for us was when you managed to block Cyrano onto the rock with Jess. Yeah. How you saw that maneuver coming? You were expecting that? That's what you were trying to do?
That is 3-0 minutes remaining in the round, Hyperspace competitors. Thank you.
That's what you were trying to do, huh? You were trying. You could see he was going to make that long maneuver. You wanted to stop him there and get him on that rock so he could not fire.
Yeah. My tactic is to use Jess to bump the Decimator, but the Decimator have Dauntless.
Okay.
And my only chance is to bump and the Decimator go to the asteroids. And
yeah, you got it. Okay. Okay. So that's it for English. Okay. So just take a moment now to explain to the people at home in Italian how you felt the game went, what you thought the key points were
for this game.
Yeah.
In Italian? Magnifico. Avete un'ora e mezzo, 2 ore che vi spiego? No, oggettivamente il matchup era molto favorevole a me. Ammetto di non aver mai giocato contro la Decimator, ma 4 navi contro 2 era oggettivamente a me favorevole. In più ho avuto la fortuna che lui non ha avuto dei grandadi, quindi sì, io spero che da qui alla finale siano tutte partite contro i Decimator. Ci metto la firma.
Ya está?
Yeah.
Okay, well done. Thank you very much. Good luck with the next round.
I'm sorry for my English.
No problem, man. It's perfectly fine. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I mean, we come to Italy, right? So what do you expect?